anus. So now we see the structure of human digestive system. This is the anterior opening known as mouth, and this is nasal nasal cavity. This mouth cavity is known as buccal cavity. The buccal cavity and nasal cavity are common open in this area. This area is called pharynx. This area is known as pharynx. The pharynx towards the follow a long tubular structure. This tubular structure is known as oesophagus. And oesophagus open into the stomach. Stomach open the first part of the small intestine. This is known as duodenal region, and here is the large intestine present. This last portion is known as anus. Near the larger portion of the human digestive part, liver here present. Largest gland of our body. Below the stomach, a small leaf-like structure. This portion is known as pancreas. Here the gallbladder store the bile juice. Gallbladder responsible for the store bile juice. The bile juice secrete from the liver. The part of the stomach, the first part is known as fundic region. Fundic, or the middle portion is above the fundic, below the fundic. Cardiac region, cardiac. This portion is known as body, and here the duodenal of the small intestine are located. This particular area is known as pyloric region. Pyloric region. The stomach are divided into the four major parts. First above part is known as fundic, and next one is known as cardiac, and the last the middle portion is known as body region. So this is the body region, this is the fundic region, and this is the cardiac region. The stomach open into the small intestine is the first part is known as duodenal. This portion is known as duodenal. Duodenum. Duodenum is the smallest portion of large intestine. The duodenum is a non-coiled structure. Here the coiled structure of the small intestine. This is the larger portion of the small intestine, coiled structure, and this coiled structure are open into this large intestine area. After the duodenal region of the small intestine, the jejunum region. Next one is jejunum, and last one is ileum portion. The small intestine are divided into the three major portions. First one is duodenum. First one is duodenum. Next is jejunum, and the last portion of the small intestine. This is known as ileum. The ileum enters into the cecum region of the large intestine. This portion is the cecum. This is the part of the large intestine, and this portion is known as appendix. Appendix. This is the vestigial organ. The initial human beings, where the bacterial digestion is takes place. We believe the appendix part are responsible for the cellulose digestion. The last portion of the small intestine are jointed to the cecum area. This jointing location is known as iliocecal junction. The large intestine are divided into the four major portions. The first portion is known as cecum, and after then this area is known as colon. Cecum, colon, and last one is known as rectum and then anus. The large intestine are include the cecum. This is the larger portion of the large intestine. Cecum, colon, rectum, and last one is anus. The colon portion are divided into the three main region. This is the ascending colon. This portion is known as transverse colon, and this portion of the colon region is known as descending colon, and the last one is sigmoid colon. This is known as sigmoid colon. So today we learned about the structure of human digestive system. The first portion is nasal cavity, mouth. The nasal and mouth and the buccal cavity. The buccal cavity and nasal cavity are common open into the pharynx area. The pharynx open into the oesophagus region, and oesophagus enters into the stomach region. The stomach are divided into the four major part. The upper portion is known as fundic. Next one is cardiac, and next one is body region, and the last portion of the stomach is known as pyloric region. After then, the stomach enters into the first part of the small intestine. This portion is known as duodenal region, and after then duodenal enters into the next one region of the small intestine. This is known as jejunum, and the last portion of the small intestine is known as ileum, and ileum enters into the large intestine. The particular location where the entry point of the ileum region into the large intestinal area, this portion of the large intestine is known as cecum, and this portion of the small intestine is known as ileum. The ileum and cecum both are joined